In this video, I want to show you how to create 3D webtoon background using Blender. To be honest, I've actually been using this software for about a month now. It might sound a bit weird getting a tutorial from a fellow beginner, right? But sometimes it's easier to learn from a beginner because our workflow are usually a lot simpler. I'm going to share my workflow to create model like this within my very first week. First thing first, make sure you have got the app installed. You can download it directly from their official website. And for your info, Blender is completely free. Once you have done that, just install it and open your Blender. When you first open Blender, it's totally normal to feel overwhelmed by how much is going on the screen. Coming from SketchUp, it feels just like a newbie user switching to Clip Studio Paint, or a CapCut user moving on to DaVinci Resolve. That's why for your first day with Blender, your main goal is just to be getting used to the UI. Not only that, you also really need to start memorizing all of the shortcuts. Some of the most important ones you will be using constantly are rotating and panning the camera. To rotate, just use the middle mouse button, and to pan, just hold down the shift key. You can look at the bottom left corner to see which key I'm pressing. I highly recommend you using mouse for this, as trying to do it with touchpad is really hard. By default, Blender gives you a cube, a camera, and a light source. To start with a clean slate, you can just delete them all. Use a left click to select an object, and also if you notice the tab in the top right corner is a list of your object, collection, and so on. Think of it as your layer tab, similar to the one you use for 2D drawing. You can select the object one by one and press delete to remove them, or just use the shortcut A to select everything and delete them all at once. Now that your workspace is clean, we can start creating objects for your webtoon background. And this time, I'm going to show you how to build an apartment. Just like when you are drawing, you need to start with a sketch for planning. And that's why I have my floor plan ready. Anyway, you can bring this floor plan design directly into your Blender. First, remember the shortcut Shift+A to add an object. Then, select image and choose references to bring in your file. After that, your reference image will appear. Set all rotation to 0 so that it's perfectly aligned. Since my floor plan isn't exactly at 1:1 scale, I will edit the references to adjust it first. Just click on the reference object and then press S to scale. Drag your mouse outward to make it bigger or inward to make it smaller. If you want it to be more precise, you can just type the scale value directly on your keyboard. Next, let's try building some wall. First, change your view into top view by hitting numpad 7. Now, let's add a new object. Press Shift A again and select Mesh. To make a wall, you can use either a plane or a cube. The difference is that a cube is basically a plane with a height or volume. For this one, I'm just going to use a plane. In the bottom left corner, you will see a small menu where you can adjust the dimension of the object you just create. Since a standard wall is usually about 15 cm thick, I will set the dimension directly from there. Next, we can move this plane to align with the wall of our references. Simply click the object, then press G to grab and move it anywhere you like. If you want to be more precise, you can just press G and then immediately press the axis key you want to lock it to. For example, X for red axis, Y for green axis, or Z for the blue axis. Now we are going to edit this plane to turn into wall that go around the room. To edit an object, you first need to enter edit mode. You can see in the top left corner that we are currently in object mode. Switch that to edit mode or just use tab shortcut. Once you are in edit mode, you can edit the object in 3 different ways, by vertex, edge, or face. The shortcut to switch between this mode is 1, 2, and 3. Now, we are going to edit our plane using the edge select mode. Select one of the edges of the plane, then press G to grab. You will see that side of the plane is being pulled. Since I want to extend the wall along the y-axis, I will press Y to keep it precise. Finally, you can confirm your move by pressing enter or just left-clicking. Next, we are going to learn how to create new edges to shape the wall where they turn. You can add new edges using the loop cut and slide tool, or by using the shortcut Ctrl-R. You can control your mouse wheel to increase the number of the edges, but for this, I only need one. I will slide the cut all the way to the end of the edge, so I can position it precisely exactly 15 cm from the end. Now we have a square shape right at the corner of our rectangular wall. Next, select the edge at the corner, then press E to extrude to create a new section. Now, the plane that has started a simple square has turned into L shapes. The difference between grab and extrude function is that when you use grab, you are only shifting or moving the existing part, whereas with extrude, you are actually creating a new segment. Now, let me give you an example if you want to make a wall that perfectly aligned. First, you can enable the snap feature with the target set to edge. This way, when you extrude, you can snap to a reference edge, ensuring your new wall is perfectly aligned with the previous one. Once you have finished all the wall area, it's time to add height. Just press A to select the entire wall structure, then press E followed by Z to extrude it along the vertical axis. I will set the height to 3.5 meter, and then there you go, the walls are done. Let's learn about modifier. Now that your wall are done, it's time to add the door. First, switch back into object mode, then press Shift A to add a cube. Position the cube over your doorway and make sure its size so it passes all the way through the thickness of the wall. After that, go back to your wall object and head over the modifier tab. Select the boolean modifier, and for the target object, pick the cube you just created. With this, once you hide the cube from view, you will see that the wall now has a perfect opening for your door. Now that you have got the basic down from grabbing and extruding to loop cut and modifier, I'm going to show you a shortcut using an add-on called Archimesh. Just go to Preferences and head over the Get extension and search for Archimesh add-on to install it. With this tool, you can instantly add architectural template for anything from wall, column, door, and window. Let's try adding a door. To use Archimesh, you can add an object as usual by pressing Shift A, go to Mesh, and select Archimesh. Alternatively, look at the tab on the right side of your window, labeled as Create. If you open that tab, all the Archimesh element will be there. Now, select the door option. You can press the numpad period key to focus your view on the object you have selected. From here, you can play around with the Archimesh template setting to customize the door design for your liking. You can change the style of the door panel and even the handle model. Once you are happy with the design, go ahead and position the door where you need it. If you look at the Layer tab, you will notice that the door object is actually made up of a complex hierarchy. In Blender, we call this a parent-child relationship, but we will dive deeper into that later. To move the door, just grab the main parent object, in this case is called door group. Move it using the same G shortcut we learned earlier, and press the axis key X, Y, or Z for precision. Now, I want to rotate the door. Press R for rotate. Since I'm rotating it along the vertical axis, I will press Z and type 90 to get it perfectly square off the 90 degrees. Then, just tidy up the positioning. Finally, it's time to cut the hole in the wall. Select your wall object again and add boolean modifier. Use the control hole object as your target. And there you have it. The wall is now perfectly cut and your door is in place. You can apply this same method not just for doors, but for window as well. However, keep in mind that the Archimesh add-on can have a few issues if you are using Blender version 5 or higher. Some of you might find the template editing setting don't appear. Since there is no auto-update feature, I highly recommend you downloading and installing Archimesh version 1.6 manually from the web. Next, I'm going to show you another frequently used modifier. I want to create a floor tile with 40 x 40 cm dimension. I will bevel one of the face using Ctrl B to add a nice chamfer. Then, I will place this tile in the corner of the room. After that, head over the modifier tab and select array. With the array modifier active, I can instantly create as many identical row and column of the tile I want. Just a quick tip, this is just to demonstrate how the array modifier works. You don't necessarily have to use this method for flooring because it adds a lot of extra geometry, which can make your file quite heavy. Usually in production, we just use material texture to create the look of the tiled floor instead. All that's left is adding the ceiling and the interior. Since you have already mastered how to make the floor and the wall manually, I'm sure you will be able to handle the ceiling on your own. As for the interior, there is so much thing you can create and practice your modeling skill. But if you are in hurry, you can always download free model from various websites online. Let me give you an example of creating interior element, again using Archimedes. I'm going to add two shelves. As you can see in the layer tab, there are two separate objects, named shelves. These two are linked to each other. To create a parent-child relationship, click the object you want to be the child. Then, shift-click the object you want to be the parent. Once both are selected, press Ctrl P and choose Object or Object Keep Transform. Now, whenever you move the parent object, the child will follow along. However, keep in mind, if you apply a modifier to the parent, it won't automatically apply to the child as well. I will show you what to do if you download Blender asset from the web. If the file is in blend format, just go to File and select Append Feature. Open that blend file and browse through it to find exactly what you need. For example, if I want to bring an object, then I will just click the object name, and it will instantly appear in your current file. It can be a bit tricky for beginner. Honestly, I struggle with it too at first because the workflow is kind of different. And here is one final tip before we move on to adding material. If you want to duplicate an object, then you can press Shift D, but there is another way. Duplicate link using Alt D. The difference is with link, when you edit one object, all the other link objects will also be added. One more thing, if you want to merge this object into one, just select them and press Ctrl Z to join. Now these two separate objects will become one single layer. Anyway, I think that's cover for the modeling tips. If I explain every single detail, then this video will never end. The video will get way too long if I combine modeling with material, rendering, and the final editing process for Webtoon background. So I'm going to wrap up this part 1 right here. It's not that I don't want to make a full end-to-end tutorial, it's just that I'm still working on with the interior myself. I will probably post the interior modeling process as a YouTube short instead. For context, I spent my first 3 days with Blender just getting used to the UI, memorizing the shortcut, and practicing basic modeling. Only then, in the following 2 days, did I move on to material, rendering, and compositing. My biggest tip for you is to make sure you are learning because you want to, not because you feel forced. And definitely don't push yourself if you are feeling stressed. It really helps you to retain what you learn for the long run. Anyway, that is for today's video. If you are a SketchUp user and you are looking to use SketchUp for your Webtoon background, I have actually made a tutorial for that too. Just click the video I have linked right here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.